the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Allen now on first down. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He finds his target. It's Evans. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Yes, yes. Motion. Mike 49. Get it.
A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Running with Kamara. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup, first down. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 20 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown.
And that's 10 touchdowns on the season for him on the ground. And remember our meeting with the coaching staff, they did share with us that one of their goals for the year was for him to get in the end zone at least 10 times. And that ramps up into their bigger goal to try and get 20 overall as a team.
They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh. Hey, Orville.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. Traquan Smith. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Allen. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
6-man. Check.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete. Smith has it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, 77 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no. It comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The numbers for Evans a week ago. 5 catches, 98 yards, and a score.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now Allen. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Evans once again the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you've got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move. But the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, 81 yards. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out, because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Micah Hyde comes flying in from safety for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
You better be afraid of me. Mike part 4, Mike part 2.
They'll set up a throw. He's got a man, complete. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Let's go.
How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. About 3 yards there to the 27.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Ed Oliver breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
All day, every day, any day. Let's go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Now Lutz for the field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To the air, Allen. He completes it to Evans. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 1st down, Allen. And the grab by Croft. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. Out onto the field comes Traquan Smith and the rest of the offense. We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. He'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Airing it out deep for Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A strong safety, Sean Davis, there to break up that pass play. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
You can't exit. You can't block me. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Let's go.
They'll drop the throw. And that's caught by Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
A toss to Murray. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. That toss play right, we know it's one of the successful plays they have in their arsenal, and they showed you why there.
And remember, in order for it to be successful, because it's a little bit of a slower developing play, those blocks at the line of scrimmage have to be kept, have to be held, so that the runner can get to the corner and turn it upfield.
General Wentz.
36.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And down to the 29-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Base.
Watch the pass.
On first down, Murray. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Oh, yeah. And here we go.
2nd and 6. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Get it.
They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Lutz good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Running out of the gun here, Breida. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Allen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Hey, Zoo. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
2nd and 9 now. Oh, nearly picked. Yeah, maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Hey, high 7. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Check that.
Looking to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
56. Mike, 56.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Man open, that's Ray McLeod. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Watch right there.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This is first and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Allen again, and they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go. 10-2 stop. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, pick it up, defense. Ready?
They start the second half with Kamara. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Second and 13. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This is taken at his 4. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Let's go.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Look at me. Zipper.
Mike 5-4. Hey, let's
Go. Let's go.
After the pick-6, they go right back to the air. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Stay at home. 52.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I'm going to hit you all day.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Allen now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Allen over the middle, and it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Allen. And this is caught by Evans. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Here's Allen to throw it. That'll be complete to Breida. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. We're going to get 9 here on first down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They run it again with Kamara. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. And I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. Room here to run. A big play here for the Bills. 63 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they? And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bills cut into that lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Back to throw here. He's got Smith here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And getting this just shy of midfield, spotted at the 49. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
60 or Alpha.
Mike 49.
On play action, they'll throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
They'll look to throw. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's got a 1st down as the tackle made at the Bills' 30. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They're going to look to throw. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter. Not
only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the... .25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
To throw again on second down. Allen, Cameron Jordan in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's the end of the third quarter of play with the score Saints 38.
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On third and long, it's Allen. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Saints on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Hey, Delta.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And he's got a first down. It's a tackle made at the Bills' 27-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Set, ready? 10-2 stop.
All right, T, let's go. All right, T.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know. Well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bills getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down. Allen. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Allen now to throw on third down. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play here for Buffalo. 41 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Throwing is Allen on third. He's got the hook up to McLeod. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hey, watch the slant. Check three.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and tell him to look like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now back to throw. It's caught. Smith. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole
blitz coming, and down he goes.
But that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Allen going to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Davenport in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Here's Allen. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Matt Breida, 87 yards. And the Bills cut into that lead. So Allen breaks the huddle, and his guys will go for 2 here. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Second and 11. Airing it out deep for Smith. This is caught inside the 15. A big pickup of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Get the ball. Check 31. Check 31.
Again, it's Kamara. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Our time. It's our time.
Coaching spell.
Here's Murray running right. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down from the right hash, and this one just a chipping. And the kick is good, so you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then,